Hey guys, welcome back to the blog. And if you're new and haven't been here with me before, my name is Haley. Welcome to hopefullyhaley.com. I've gotten a lot of requests lately to incorporate some videos into my blog posts. I know sometimes it gets a little crazy and everyone's busy and work and life is hectic, and sometimes it's easier just to watch a video rather than take time skimming through and reading, which is totally fine. I love to do this as well. I feel like it's really cool to have interaction, so you feel like you have a real person behind the things that you're reading. And so I wanted to just go ahead and jump into tonight's post. I really wanted to focus in on the quote that I posted to my Instagram account. So if you haven't seen that yet, please go and take a look. I'm focusing a lot in the book of James right now because it's just something that's really spoken to me in this particular time in my life. And the verse that I want to hone in on is James 4:8. Super simple. The verse passage itself is really in depth, and it was something that I really didn't want to get too deep into, but I really wanted to focus on 8 itself, 4:8 itself. Very simply put, draw near to God and He will draw near to you. And this is something that I wanted to talk about because I have been through a lot in my own life personally over the last couple of months, and this verse has really helped me because I think it's human nature sometimes to drift away from your faith and drift away from God when bad things are happening, even if it's not to you, if it's happening to someone that you know, a loved one, a family member, whatever it is. I think it's just really easy sometimes to harbor feelings of resentment and misunderstanding, and all of those things I think just kind of naturally draw us away from our faith. And I mean, I can only speak for myself. I know that that's definitely been the case for me at times in my life. So what I love about this verse is, first, how simple it is. So many times in the Bible, it tells us just in just about every book that no matter how much we pull away, that He's always going to plant this feeling inside of us that we still need Him. And no matter how much we resent Him, how much we want to blame Him for things that are going wrong, we still have to get to a place where we're glorifying Him, because even through our pain, there's something that He's trying to teach us. And that's something that I personally have really started to understand over the last couple of months, just because He's removed a lot of things from my life, and He has slowly started to replace them with things that are much more filling, and so that's something that I wanted to pass along to you guys. Another point that I wanted to bring up too is that I had a conversation with a girlfriend a couple of weeks ago, and she was going through some really difficult things in her life, and she also had a friend who was going through some really tough things too. Sorry, y'all are gonna have to bear with me here. I'm kind of new to this video thing, and it's just the natural girl instinct in me to be like messing with my hair and looking at all that. Anyway, I'm not a makeup and hair person. You'll find that throughout this blog if you haven't already. But so the story I wanted to share was that her girlfriend was going through some really tough things, things that I think would make anyone question their faith and feel lost. And I know she had a really great Christian upbringing, but she just was really drifting away kind of with those questions of, if there is a God and He really is here for me, then how can He be letting these things happen? Which I think is something that we've all felt at one point or another in our lives. And my response to her, I think, was something that she really had never thought of before, and that was that we really tend to praise Him for the things that go right in our life, and we tend to blame Him for the things that go wrong, but we forget that while there is a God who is championing for us and pushing for great things to happen, that there's also a devil who is conspiring against you. So before you jump to thinking that it's something we need to blame God for, maybe we should just, stop and take a second and remember that he's not the only force that's trying to work in our lives. And that's something that I totally forget all the time. I mean, I'm the world's worst about it, but I just think that this verse, and really the book of James in general, is really enlightening for people who are kind of at that spot in their life where you've kind of, you're down on your faith. Maybe you haven't lost it all the way, but you're definitely questioning it. And you're wondering if he's there and if he hears you when you pray and when you talk to him. And something for me that I noticed a couple of months back when I was going through some really tough relationship things and just really trying to figure out what it was that he wanted for me in that particular situation. I would sometimes think to myself, like, can you hear me when I talk to you? Like, can you see me when I cry? Can you hear those things? And slowly but surely, it's like there have been such aha moments for me over the last just like 4 or 5 weeks alone where I feel him here. And it's in subtle things, it's being out with friends and hearing someone who has a similar story or someone that has a testimony that they share with you. I was standing in line literally one time at Marshall's just waiting to check out, and I heard a phone conversation behind me, literally the exact same situation that I was going through at the time, and everything that this woman was saying was so encouraging and so positive. And it just hit the nail on the head for me at that particular moment. And I remember turning around, I had tears in my eyes, and she was just a complete stranger. And I remember just saying, thank you. Like, I know that God was just talking to me through you. And you probably had no idea, that anyone was listening. So my point to this whole thing, and I will ramble if I just keep going on, but my point to this whole verse, James 4:8, is draw near to him and he will draw near to you. He hears you when you talk to him. He hears you, when you think no one else is listening. Those tears that you've cried, that I have cried myself many times over the last couple of years, he sees, and your pain has a purpose. And if you think that it doesn't, just find patience. And when you get to that point where you realize everything that you're going through is happening for a reason, you can go back to this verse and you can say, so that's why you wanted me to come to you. He's got open hands, the same hands that were crucified for us so that we could make mistakes and, be sinners and all that, whatever. Those hands are the ones that he wants you to put all of your troubles into. And so I think when you get to that point, it's just really liberating. And I think that you are open to a more intimate relationship with him as well. So my challenge to you is, if you feel like you've been going through something lately, and you feel like you've been going through it alone, trust in the fact that you're not. And just because you can't see him and you can't always feel what's happening doesn't mean that he's not working on your heart and your needs and what you need, ultimately to grow and strengthen through whatever you're going through. So I'm going to get into my own personal things probably as time goes on, and I really get into this blog and get more comfortable with it, just so that, you guys can have an idea of someone who's just like you and has felt any kind of pain that, you're going through. But by the way, it is like, I'm so glad that tomorrow's Friday, and like, hey, like wine and my Bible, this is like the best night ever for me. So I hope you guys are having a great night as well, and I hope that you found this motivating and that this is a book that you end up wanting to spend some more time in if this is a message that spoke to you. So leave me a comment, send me an email, something, and let me know if we're on the right track with this blog. And thank you so much for reading.